Hello everyone. Okay, so I'm sorry that there was some interruption in my network, so I got disconnected. So I welcome you all in this session, and we are going to learn something about how to implement artificial neural networks for the classification problems. So today we have taken a data set that is basically an image data set. So we will be having some classes that are related. Yeah. So I'm not sharing anything right now. So, hmm. Am I audible, everyone? Yeah. Okay. So we will keep on interacting with each other while I'll ask you questions in between, and then you have to answer it. So there'll be some sort of communication between us, and there'll be connectivity. So there'll be a connection in this lab. So first thing is that I'll deliver you the we are going to classify the images with the help of ANN, artificial neural networks, and then we will be having those images in a folder that we have already shared you. So first thing is that our link has been shared right now with you in the chat. So you just have to go to the chat and then you have to visit that link. So I'm opening that link and I'm going to share with you that screen. So let us begin. Yes. So this is the drive that we have shared with you, and inside that drive, there is a folder that is Lab 23, 23rd June. Okay. So what you have to do is just open that folder and download this zipped file. This is the entire data set. So I'm going to download this right now. Since I'm having this in my folder, so I'm not going to download it, but you need to download it first. And okay, just do this and please let me know. So are you going to like do hands-on with me right now in this session, or you are just watching it and you'll take this video and then and try it by yourself? So hands-on, okay, good right now. Yeah. So seems to be perfectly all right. Yeah. So you just have to download this Intel dataset. So you'll be when you'll download it, you'll be having a file. So Asia Connect, yeah. So I already have this file in my machine, like Intel dataset. Okay. So let us Intel dataset Kaggle. So Kaggle is a good repository, it gives you a good number of data sets, especially when we are doing some research. So there are ample data sets that are already available there. So I've taken this data set, and there are 25,000 images in this data set. Each image has dimensions. Do some annotation. So there are 150 cross 150 images. Okay, it means that every image is having 150 rows and 150 columns. So this is an image. So there are 150 rows and 150 columns. Okay. So, so can anyone tell me that what is the smallest element this image has? Like, suppose there are 150 rows and 150 columns. So, what is this element known as? What is this? What is this? So, in an image, what is the smallest element we talk about? No, pixel. Yes, very nice. AG. Somebody is AG. Yeah, pixel. Ruchi Jain. She says that it is pixel. Madhurya Hait. She's saying that it's pixel. Yeah. So pixel is actually picture element. Okay. So 150 cross 150 image means there are 150 cross 150 pixels. So how many number of pixels? 1 15 15 225 00 22500 pixels. Okay. So there are how many pixels? 22500 pixels. So there is this image has a lot of information. And just tell me that apart from this, what is remaining? So how many pixels are there? 150 or cross 150 or any more? Can anyone tell me right now? Cross three. Shivani Thomas says, yeah, three channels exactly. So uh, because these images, okay, let me clear that. Okay, okay. So when you will download this data set, each of these images are colored images. Okay, so it consists of colors. So we refer to these colors as the channels. Okay, so there are three channel images. These are because these are colored images. So these are formed with the help of three pixel values. So every color pixel is actually the combination of three values. Okay, RGB values, red, green, and blue channel are there. So we will consider the red channel as first, green channel as the second, and blue channel is the third one. And it is universal for all the all the computers in this world. So every single system will consider it as RGB image. Okay, no GBR, no BGR, nothing, only RGB. So there are certain libraries. When you will use those libraries, you will convert that image, then they would give you some different kind of thing like BGR or GBR, but it is RGB image. So RGB image is actually a color image. Okay. So for today's session, because it is a hands-on session and we are actually using our internet services, so there may be a problem with related to the bandwidth. So due to bandwidth issues, I have shortened the data set. So we have taken only three classes, and this data set contains buildings, forest, and glacier. So I'll show you. Yeah. So these images have buildings in them, and so this particular folder belongs to which data set? Buildings data set. This is forest data set. So these are forests. They are giving you picture about forest, and the third one is glacier. So glacier is something that is coming out of when the snow melts. So this is glacier. Okay. So these are glacier images. So there are three classes in this folder. One is building, other one is forest, and third one is glacier. So what we will be doing is we are going to classify whether the suppose I'm giving the model, whatever model we will be developing, we'll give this image as input and we'll find out which image is this, whether it is glacier or it is a mountain, no, building, or it is a forest. So there are three classes. So model is trained on these three classes, and that model will tell you whether it is glacier, forest, or buildings. Okay. So I think you must have downloaded this data set. So please write in the chat if you have downloaded it. So write download it in the chat. Okay. And then I'll tell you what you have to do next. Yeah, good, good. So you just need to log into your Google Gmail. Sorry, your Gmail. So I'm in my Gmail, and what I have to do is you have to listen to me very carefully. You have to click on this Google Apps option over there. So Google Apps, and then those people who are getting their folder downloaded right now, so please, what I am saying, please have a view on that. So you have to click on this drive button, drive icon, and then your drive will get opened. Now what you have to do, you have to click on this new. Okay, so I'm going to press this new, and here I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to write 23rd June and AC. I'm writing AC. So 23rd June Asia Connect, and I'm going to create this folder. So this is an empty folder where I don't have anything, and let us see where this folder is created. Yeah, so it is still some. Okay, so last modified by. Okay, so 23rd June. Okay, so this is the drive folder I'm talking about. Okay, so no local repository you should have right now, because if you are using local repository, then you should have a local Jupyter, no, Anaconda or Jupyter should be running in your system. So since we need to develop our model, we will take the help of Colab, and then we'll use the computing services given by Google. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to open this empty folder in the drive that you also have to create, and then just do this thing. You have to upload this folder. So I'm going to upload this thing. Yeah, like this. So it is getting uploaded. So please let me know how you have, if you have uploaded this data set in your Google Drive folder or not. So please type uploaded if you have done that. Okay. Anybody else apart from Ruchi Jain, madam? So if you have completed, please let me know. Please acknowledge me if you have done this thing, uploaded. Once give link of data set, sir. Okay, Shivani ji. So there is one link that is already shared with you. I'm again going to share this drive link for everyone. So this is the drive link. What you have to do is go to this drive link again. I'm telling everybody, please be careful while listening. So you have to go to this drive link. You have a drive will be opened, and then you have to click on this lab 23 June that I have actually uploaded. So yes, lab 23 June, and there is one Intel data set. So you just have to right click on that, download this data set at your end. This you have to do first. So first you have to download this thing. Now come back to your drive, my drive, come back to your drive. Okay, create a new folder named as 23rd June AC. So create it like that. June 23 June AC. You have to create it. Make a new folder like this, and write 23 underscore June underscore AC like this, and then you have to press on this thing. Okay, so you have to create this folder, open that folder, and upload your data set, whatever you have downloaded. No, file is very small. It's I think it's in MB, like 4.45 MB, I think. So it is 45 MB file. It will get uploaded within a minute or two or so. If the bandwidth is too poor, it will take not more than 5 minutes. So meanwhile, I will not wait because we are having very some small amount of time. We have to need learn much more. So since the session is being recorded, you will be having recording, and then you will try it by your own. Okay, so you have to upload this Intel dataset, and there is one dataset. Okay, now second thing. So I'm again telling you, I'm in my drive. You should be in your drive. Okay, so you can type in the chat whatever if you are in your drive. So write in the chat my drive, my drive, my drive. There should be my drive there. It says your drive. Yeah, good. So yes. So thank you very much for acknowledging me. So that this gives us, some vision that where are you right now. So yeah, first you have to right click on that, and then you have to click on more. So in your drive, you have to click on right click on the screen, and then just go to more and try to find out Google Collaboratory. So I'm going to open Google Collaboratory. Google Collaboratory. Okay. If somebody doesn't gets it, right click on that, more, connect more apps. You just have to click on that, and then you can search for Google Collaboratory. So there you'll find it. Like, you have to search for the apps. So collab, you have to search collab. So it is Google Collaboratory. You have to open that. Okay. So once you have opened your Google Collaboratory, you'll get this kind of window that shows you an environment where you'll be able to run your Python codes that I'm going to tell you or deliver you. Okay. So write collab if you are in this page, just like me. If you are in your collaboratory, collab, everyone, collab. So two people, Muskan says and Akshit says they are in collab. What about other people? Yeah, Srishti, nice. Avnesh, Chitranshi, everyone. Good, good. So I'm getting responses. So very nice. Now what we have to do is actually you have to rename this file. So what we are going to do is classification. So Intel dataset classification, ANN, using ANN. So I'm going to rename this file. So when you'll see that this is your folder, there'll be an IPyNB file. This is interactive. I is for interactive, Py is for Python, NB is for notebook. So interactive Python notebook. Okay, so this is interactive Python notebook that I've renamed it as Intel Dataset Classification ANN.IPyNB. So this is what we have renamed. So please renamed. I am typing renamed. So I've renamed the in this file. Okay. Now, very first thing, you just need to import. Okay. Other thing. Okay. So just you have to click on this connect button. So what is this actually? This is a virtual machine that is coming to you where you'll get the computing services from the Google. Okay. So when you'll see that there are certain options like file is there, edit is there, view, insert, runtime tools, help. So when you'll click on runtime, there'll be there's one option that is change runtime type. So when you'll click on that, you will be getting like what you are running right now. So I'm going to use Python 3. I'm not going to use R language. Okay, I'm going to use Python 3. And what hardware accelerator we need? So I will need GPU. So I'll take GPU as hardware accelerator. Okay. So this Google gives you this GPU that is that are of two types. Oh, three types they have started given. So T4 is a Titan GPU, A100 is there, and V100 is there. So there are three types of GPUs they are giving you, and it depends upon you that what GPU you want to have. So for right now, for our problem, all are same for us because all of them will compute and will give you good results. So I take this one, and now what I'm going to do is just save it. Just save it. Okay. So Intel dataset classification ANN. Okay. So this is the notebook. I have taken runtime as GPU, save, then you have to click on connect. Okay. So here what is going on is now you are getting a machine with a GPU with some RAM and CPU. Okay. So connected. When you will hover your mouse, like you don't have to click, you just keep your cursor over this RAM and this, you will got to know that there is 12 GB of disk that is given, and then somebody hit your mouse mic participant. Okay. Okay. So what you have got is RAM and disk. Okay. So we have got RAM, and backend engine is GPU. You can see over here engine backend is GPU, and the disk space is 24 GB out of 78.19 GB. It may vary for each of you. So how much RAM we have got is 12.68 GB. Okay, so we have got 12.68 GB RAM and some hard disk space that you have already got in your Google Drive. So connected. I think you all have got connected. Okay, I again tell you the settings. So you have to go to the runtime, change runtime type, change runtime type. Then you have to select GPU and whatever GPU you want to have. So I've taken T4 by default. So I'm going to save this. Lahar, is it okay? Okay, okay. So first thing, so we have got this computation environment. Now we have to connect the Google Drive to fetch our data set. So there is one data set that you have already uploaded in your folder, and we need to fetch this data set. So how you can do that? So you just have to go back to your this Google Drive. Yes, this one is not my Google Drive. This is my Google Drive. Okay. Hmm. No, this one. Yeah, this one. This one is my Google Drive. So my drive 23rd June AC and then this thing. Okay. Now in since the data set is in this Google Drive and we are having a separate environment. So this is a different environment. This is a virtual machine that is placed somewhere like in CA or San Francisco or somewhere else like in London, or it can be in Berlin or somewhere else. So this machine that we have got is what actually the gift from Google side, and you can use this as a free of cost service for but for a very limited amount of time, and then you can have some you can purchase their solutions or their offerings, like, and they are giving you this virtual machine. So first thing is that uh, uh, since it is connected, so we need to connect our Google Drive. Okay, so this is my Google Drive. I need to connect it. How I can do that? So in the left side, you can see that there are certain options. Okay, first one is table of contents. No, I don't want to. I don't want to have this thing. No, no finding. I don't need it. Third one is variables. No, and the last one is folder. Yes. So I need to have this thing folder. So please click on this folder button over there. Okay, I'm just expanding this thing. Okay, so click on folder, and there are certain options. So one is upload, second is refresh, third one is mount. So we have to mount our drive. Mounting means this notebook is able to connect to your Google Drive where the data is located. Okay, so you are having some data. So you are having some data in your Google Drive. So this is your Google Drive, and this is your collaboratory notebook, Collab. Okay, so this collaboratory notebook has a different machine somewhere, and this is your Google Drive. You need to connect these two things. So when you will press this folder and then you will mount your drive, both of them will get connected. So there's a connection between these two things. So this collaboratory notebook will be able to fetch your Intel dataset, Intel dataset. Okay. So I'm going to clear these all drawings, and then what we will do is we have to click on this mounting Google Drive, connect to Google Drive. So I'm saying yes, you have to connect to your Google Drive. Just see that it is going to connect. Yeah. So when you have mounted your Google Drive, so here there is one option that Drive has appeared. This option. Okay. So once you have this option Drive, you will be able to open your drive. So I'm going to open my drive. This is drive. Then you have to go to my drive. Okay. Then what you have to do is now we have to go inside my drive. Yeah. So when I've clicked on my drive, there is one folder 23rd June AC. This is my folder. If you have made it renamed it like something else other than this, you might be having that name. Okay. So this is the notebook that we have already created over here, and this is the Intel dataset. Okay, Intel dataset. So I think let me ask you in the chat. Have you connected with your drive and then you have mounted? So please type in the chat if you have mounted. Like I have mounted my drive. So I'll type mounted. Yeah. So Madhurya said Ruchi, Madam Vikas, everyone. Yeah, good. Nice. Yeah, very nice. So you have mounted your drive. So we can copy this path of Intel dataset. Let us copy this. How we can copy this? You have to go to this Intel. Let me take pen to draw. Yeah. So I'll take this Intel dataset .zip file. Okay. So I'll take this. So let me come to this mouse again, and then I'll click on this three option, like three dots. That is option, and I'll copy my path. Copy path. So I'm going to write path data path equal to this thing, and copied that path. Okay. So how you can do that? Again, I'm telling you, after mounting the drive, like you have got this thing. So you have to click on drive, my drive, then whatever folder you have created, click on that. There is one zipped folder. After that, you'll find these three dots option. Click on that, copy path. So a string will get created, and then you can have. So what you have to do is, sorry, press on this code button. You'll have a new cell right over here, path or data path. Data path equals to single inverted comma, paste it. Done. Done this thing. Okay, and click on this play button. So right now I'm saying play button, but it's for running this cell. So I have ran this cell. Okay. Now it is done from my side. So if you have done this thing, please let me know. Okay, done. Data path we have done. Okay. Now I'm going to close this thing. After closing, we'll have a good amount of space to have better visibility. So I'm going to delete all notations. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going back to mouse. Yeah. So this is what we have got in our notebook. Now you have to again press on this plus button. Now you have to type import OS. Okay. So OS is the package that we are going to import. There are certain things that we need to have whenever it is required. So we are primarily importing it for some file read operations. Okay. So import OS, and then type import zip file, import zip file with zip file dot z capital. It is not giving me option like zip file. Yeah, this one zip file dot zip file, and then you have to give the path like data path and in read mode, R mode. Okay, and this has to be in single inverted commas, so read mode. So I'm reading this file as zip, and then zip dot extract all. Now, so in the same folder we need to have this thing. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll copy this till June AC. I'll copy this path till June AC and then single inverted commas and paste it. Okay, so I need this file, this zipped file to be extracted over here only. Like in Windows, we used to do this operation like this: right click and then extract all and all that. Okay, so instead of that, what we are doing is we are using a Python code to unzip that file. And let us run this cell. So I think it is clearly visible for you. That will take some time to unzip that thing. Yeah, so it is done, and let us see whether our file, the zipped file, unzipped file is there or not. Folder is there. So yes, we can see that earlier we were having only Intel dataset.zip. Now it is Intel dataset. Okay. So there are three folders: street, glacier, and forest. So please type in the chat unzipped. I'll share the code with you. Yes, this is the code. Mm, oh, good. Thanks. So please be careful while writing the code. There are some people do mistakes with capitals and small letters, and they are not concerned about the single inverted commas or and all that. So we already have unzipped the folder, then upload. Yeah, that can also be done, but sometimes there is no option to upload the file folder actually. So you need to upload the file and then you have to unzip it. Okay. So if you are having the option of unzipped file to be uploaded, well and good. If you're not having unzipped file, like folder, you are not having option for to upload the folder. What you can do is use this code. You will be able to unzip the file. Yeah, good. So we are having this Intel dataset. Good. Now, what we have to do is for a neural network that we have to train, we need to have some data that we will have Like suppose, okay, so suppose we are having this big data set. Okay, this is Intel data set. So this is Intel data set. Okay, now what I have to do is in this Intel data set, I need some data, like uh, I need some data. What happened? Yeah. So I need some data that is used for training. So this is for training. Second one is for validation, that whether our training is going good or badly. Or third one is testing, test. So what we have to do is actually we have to split this data set into three parts. Okay, one is training, other one is validation, and other one is testing. So we will take 80% of our data for training, 10% for validation, and 10% for testing. So how much? 100%? 80 plus 10 plus 10? It is 100%. So through from that data, we are going to take 80% for training, 10% for validation, and 10% for testing. Okay, is it? Have you got it or not? Got it? Okay. So I'm going to clear all drawings. Yeah. Now, so I'm getting inside this thing, and we need to split this folder as I have already shown you. So how to do that? So you have to install, like, give an exclamation mark and then write pip install split folders. So I'm going to install this package, that is split folders. Okay. Now, so what is the input? So input folder is equals to whatever we have created. So that is Intel dataset. That folder's name is Intel dataset. That if you want to check it, you can check it by this. Okay, PWD. So ls. Oh, sorry, like this. So ls. So this is Intel dataset. So we need to give the input as this. Copy this Intel underscore dataset. Or what you can do is go to this folder and then refresh this thing. You have got Intel dataset. Copy this path, and then input folder equals to, and copy this thing. Okay, so I'm going to copy this thing. Yes, paste this. I'm going to paste this thing. So this is input folder. Now, where do you want to have splitted data set? So I'm going to create a new folder over here. I'm clicking on this thing and new folder, and I'll write splitted, or I'll write Intel splitted. Okay, and after doing that, I'm going to copy this Intel splitted path, and I'll write destination folder, dest folder equals to this thing. Okay, and then I'll run this cell. I'm not getting attribute error. In what line? In which line? Koshi? Okay. So these are the two folders that we are going to use. in second line. So second line, okay, which this one zipped file, you can check it out. So while you are taking some like lectures on the this online sessions, so you can have like you can do print screen. Okay, so because the whatever whosoever is taking that lecture or session, he might scroll down or he might go somewhere else from his screen. So please keep on taking snapshots and then you'll be able to correct it. Okay, so this one you just see this code and then you'll be able to do that. So right now, okay. So I'm going to use this split folder. So how to use this? Import split folders. So oh, split folders. Okay, I'm going to import this split folders and then split folders dot ratio. Split folders dot ratio. Okay. So split folders dot ratio and then there should be two things like input folder. So we have a specified input folder here and then I'm going to give you the destination folder is dashed folder. Now, guess one thing is oh, I've already told you that what is the ratio you should keep. So I'm going to keep ratio as ratio equals to we will have 80%. So 0.8 for training, zero point 0.1 for testing, and 0.1 for validation. Okay. So this is the ratio. Seed we will give like this should be any random. This is seed will be the random number generator. So I'll take any random value 1679. This is a random value through which the random numbers will be generated. Since we have to split these folders, so random pick they will it will be picking some random images from this and then yeah. So and move equals to false. Type move equals to false. So in that I think I don't remember. It should be like that. Yeah. So it is copying files and where it is going to copy it is inside the destination folder. Okay. It is saying that you are connected to GPU runtime but not utilizing the GPU. So change to a standard runtime. Right now, we will be employing GPU. Let it say like so. How many files were there? 3,000 files were there, and then just check it out in the splitted. So let us refresh this drive over here. So F5 and see. Yeah. So Intel splitted is there, and you may find that there are three folders. Okay. So these three folders are actually this is for testing, this is for validation, this is for training. So this data we will be using in the model to train the model, train the model. So where is the model? Model is in my brain right now. I'll tell you how to make that model. Okay. So we are going to create that model and we are going to use validation to validate whether our training is going in a good way or not. Okay, and then we'll test our model whether it is giving good results or not. Okay, so these two will be employed during training and this is for testing only. Okay, so let us come back to our this thing. Okay, so Intel dataset, is it done? Splitting done? So please let me know. Okay, seed is something that is used to generate the random number. Since we are splitting these folders randomly. So random pick of the image. Like it will be picking the image from that folder. So Madhur, is it okay or should I tell you more about this thing? Madhurya, why did you choose one? Oh, it is my random guess. Anything you can take. So it is a random number. What did my brain said? Wrote it there. So no, nothing. No. Like there's no relation. Like why I have taken 167. Okay. So yeah. So let us come back to this notebook now. Let us see what kind of image is there. So you have to plot that image in this notebook. So we will be using matplotlib. So matplotlib is the library. So its pyplot class will be we will be taking. So import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. So alias is plt, and then now I'm going to read some image. So img equals to plt dot imread, and then we will go to that image that I want to read. So suppose the image is intel splitted. Let us take one training image from, oh, I've taken 5 classes. So I've given you 5 class data set. Oh, that's good. That's great. So I'm taking in the training, I'm taking forest, and there are a number of images. So forest first one. So what is T20062? So when I'll double click on this image, it appears over here. So this is how to use that image in the code. So I'm going to use the path of this image, and I'm going to copy that path. So this is what I've copied. So I've copied this path, and I'm closing this. Okay, and I'm using plt.imshow, and what I have to show is img. Okay, so this img is something that we have read from this path. So this image is inside this img, and we are going to show that. So I'm going to print that image. The same image, forest image. So it is saying that it is 150 cross 150 image. So how we can check it out that it is 150 cross 150 image? I'm going to removing this image right now so that we will have a better visibility of code. So img dot shape. Okay. So it is 150 cross 150 cross 3. So this image has 150 cross 150 cross 3 number of pixels. So 3 channels are there. So how to print first channel? So suppose I want to see the first channel. So plt.imshow all rows, all columns, and first channel. So since array starts from 0, the channel 0 is R channel. Okay, so red channel is there. So okay, I've been given the image. So img, uh, yeah, yeah. So this is what red channel can take it out from that image. C map equals to gray. So color map we have given it as gray. So this is grayscale image for R channel. For B channel, I'm giving you like this. So B will be 1. So this is B channel. This is somewhat, it will be different. Like this is more darker and this is lighter. And then this is G actually. And then for B, I'm going to write 2. So this is RGB. Okay. So this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2 RGB image. So all these combinedly give you what? A colored image. Okay. So in satellite imagery, there are a hell lot of like channels. So suppose you are going to do some project with NASA or ISRO, so you'll get images, and then those images will have 16 channels, 20 channels. Each channel will have a different kind of information, not only the visual information, but also different kind of information. So the satellite imagery deals with many, a lot of channels. Okay. Now, so you have printed that image. Okay. Now, let us do one thing is let us prepare now a model. So for since we need to like classify these images, so we have to create a model. So let us create a model. So I'll suggest you to open this thing like Alex Lee Nail. Alex Lee Nail. NN.svg. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one. So this will help you in creating your the visual representation of a neural network, ANN, visual representation. So right now I'll take only um, like suppose I'm having initial layer, I'm having only 5 number of neurons, and in the second layer I'm going to have 3 number of neurons, and here I'll have suppose 4 number of neurons. So I'm going to explain you what is neural network right now. So in the yesterday's session, you have seen that what is ANN, what is backpropagation. So we are going to create an ANN. So here you can see this. There are how many neurons in this first layer? So anybody can tell me how many neurons are there in this first layer? Koshi, I'm not getting. Koshi says something. We have to copy something to these new folders now. Okay. So Malika Shri, Avnesh, you are very correct. There are 5 neurons in this layer. Okay, so this is input layer. This is what? Input layer. You can see over here, this one. You can see over here, this is written input layer. So input layer has how many neurons? How many neurons? 5 neurons. This is hidden layer, and this is output layer. Okay, this is output layer. Let me take it over here. So in our case, what is the input actually? So input is the whole image. So how many number of neurons are there? So there are mm, so there are 150 into 150 into 3 number of neurons. So that should be equal to 15 into 15 225. So 225 0 0 sorry into 3. I'm very sorry. This is 3 into 3 number of neurons. So into 3, this becomes equals to 5 3 is 15, and 3 is 1 7, and then 3 to the 6. So 67500 number of neurons. Okay. So in our case, when we are going to build this ANN, the input layer will have how many neurons? 67500 neurons. So it is practically here visually impossible to plot 6,750, sorry, 67,500 neurons. But think about, there are how many neurons? There are 67,500 neurons here. And what should be the output? Just tell me. Who will tell me what should be the output? How many neurons will be there in the output layer? Anybody? 4. Why 4? 5. Tamanna says that 5, it is 5. So let me answer this question without any confusion. So when you will see this splitted data set or Intel data set that we have taken, so in any of these test train or something like that, that those folders, how many classes are there? So there are 6 classes. Okay, there are how many classes? 6 classes. So make it as an analogy that you will be having the number neurons equal to the number of classes. So how many classes are there? There are 6 classes. So 6 classes. So how many neurons will be there? 6 neurons will be there. Input 6,500 neurons, and there are 6 neurons. Okay. And in between, you can have any number of hidden layers. Like suppose, let me make it mouse. So yeah. So any number of neurons like this one. Okay. So there are these number of neurons. We can add more hidden layers. So 6 neurons in the last layer and in between many hidden layers. Okay. So you can have any number of hidden layers, but the neurons in the first layer will be 67,500 and the last layer will be 6. Okay. Is it clear? So I think you'll not have any problem, like you'll not have any question regarding this. Okay. So can I proceed? Yes or no? Okay, good. So let's clear these screen drawings. Come back. Okay. So now we are going to create the model. So our model, this ANN model, we will be creating using TensorFlow and Keras. So I'll request everyone to import TensorFlow. Okay, directly it will not be. So we have to from, or you can write import TensorFlow like this. Import TensorFlow. From TensorFlow, Tensor, import Keras. Okay, and from Keras, import layers. Let us see if there's some problem. No. So you have to import these 3 things. Like you have to import TensorFlow and then from TensorFlow, or you need not import TensorFlow. You can directly use Keras. So just write these 3 lines and then we are going to create a model. So let us create a model. I'm going to create a very simple and small model. So we'll be defining inputs. Okay, so we have already seen in this nn.svg that there are inputs. So let us use a snipping tool. Yes, and like that. So yeah, this is here. So yeah, this is snipping tool. I'm keeping it over here. Okay. So here you can see that inputs we are having. So how many inputs are there? 67,500. But we need not compute it. Keras will do this job for us. So we'll do that Keras dot input. So we are creating an input layer. Shape equal to, and when we will define the shape, it will compute it. So 150 cross 150 cross 3. Okay. Now what we will do is we will be defining a new layer. So input layer is done. Now we are going to convert this input and flatten that input. Like suppose the input is actually like this. So input is actually 3D because RGB is there. Okay. So we are going to flatten this. So first we will flatten R. Flatten is like converting this 2D array to 1D array. How we will do that? How to convert 2D array to 1D array is put one row, take one row, first row like this, second row, after that third row, after that fourth row, after that. In this way, you will be having a one-dimensional array. Okay, so clear our drawings. Yeah. So what we will be doing is we are going to flatten. So L1, like layer 2. First one is input layer. Now I'm writing L1. So L1 equals to layers dot flatten. And what is whom it is going to flatten is input. So this input comes here. Okay. So this input comes here and this will take input and create L1. Now we'll take L2. L2 equals to layers dot dense. Dense layer. Dense means here in this diagram, we have seen that there are neurons. Okay, there are four neurons. They are connected with each other in a dense way. Dense way means each neuron is connected to every other neuron. So if there are n neurons here, m neurons here, then this will be n cross m. Okay, so we are going to create a dense layer. So layers dot dense, and it depends on us how many neurons we have. We want. So how many neurons we have taken over here? So we have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 neurons over here. Here, because the input is too big, so we will take a good number of neurons, like 128. Let me take 128 neurons. For each neuron, we have to give activation. So this is already taught to you what is activation function. So we are using rectified linear unit. And what is the input to this second layer is the first layer. Okay. So I am taking it as L1. Okay. Then again, in this way, we are creating more than one dense layer. So let us take more than one L3. Then we can have 256 neurons, L2. Then L4. I'm going to have, let us take small number of neurons. Let us 64 and then L3 and then L5, the final layer. So L5 is the output. So I'm writing is output layer. Okay, so output is layers dot dance. How many neurons should we take is the number of classes. Number of classes. So how many classes are there? We have seen there are 6 classes. So we'll write it over here 6 neurons, and then we have to change it as softmax. Softmax function will take. Okay. So now since we have defined these layers, now we are going to define a model. So we'll write model equals to chars dot model inputs. Inputs to this model is input. This input. Don't get confused. This is inputs. S is there. Inputs. So inputs is input. Outputs is equals to output. Okay. And now I'm going to name my model. So name is AC model. So this is our model. Let us compile this. Check it out. If there is any kind of no. Okay. So this is the model that we have created, and we'll type model.summary. So we can see the parameter configuration of that model. How many parameters are there? Okay, so there are 4,05,006 number of parameters. Just tell me what we are doing wrong in this model. Can anyone tell me what wrong we are doing in the chat? Yes, very good. Shivam is correct. So why we have taken L1? It is Not like that. We have to take it L4. So L1 over here, L2 from here to there. Uh, so this input is here, L1 here, L2 here, L3 here, L4 here. Now output is there and this input is there. Okay. So I'm going to clear all these drawings. Again, we are going to compile this model. Yeah. So we have got model.summary. Now there are more number of parameters. So we have taken 150 cross 150 cross 3 image and then we have got 6. Okay. Now the thing comes is we have to make our model to read the data set. For that we are going to use image data generator. Okay, so first is we are going to use flow from directory, just two terms like flow from directory and image data generator. So image data generator will help us in making the data set for augmentation. Explain the parameter portion. Okay, parameters are there like we have to compute it. How many number of parameters are so m cross n in this layer? So how many number of parameters? M cross n. For this, there are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 into this number of neurons. So these are the number of connections. फिर this into this, then add all these. So you will find how many parameters are there in your model. Okay. So layer wise computation is there. So input reads nothing, like input has no uh, nothing to learn about. So how many actually models learn these weights. So these lines that you can see over here, actually they are represented mathematically as weights of a matrix. Okay. So Shivani, these connections are weights and they are in the form of matrices. So this model has, suppose there are m neurons here and n neurons here. So how many connections are there? M cross n connections. So there are how many entries in a matrix? M cross n matrix is there. This is m cross n matrix. Okay. And then for every layer you have to do computation like that. So how many parameters is actually how many values you are going to learn when there is back propagation, when there is a gradient computation and all that, when our model is learning. So this is what is telling you about the parameters. So yeah, flattened layer has nothing to do that is learning, because there is no relation. You just have to flatten that array. So you need not have any connection sort of thing. When you are going to flatten that array, there's nothing related to learning. Suppose I have, let us see, like suppose I am having a matrix of 10 cross 3, and I want you to make it a flattened layer, flattened matrix. So what you will do is you will keep on like settling down these elements into a 1D array. So what is learning behind? Nothing. Are you learning something? No. So there is no weight computation, no back propagation. What is? No, there is no change actually. So if there is no change, there's no learning. There's no learning, there's no parameter. Okay. Now let's come back to what is needed for you have to go to take the data into your network. How to do that? So you have to write from Keras dot preprocessing dot image import image data generator. Then why we are using image data generator? So suppose since we are having 3000 images, sometimes it happens that the input data set is not sufficient to make your model learn many things that are inside images. So what we will do, we will populate the image in that data set. So suppose I am I'm populating my data set. Okay, so this is image. Now I have only like 100 samples. Okay, 100 samples. And my model, if I'm going to train my model, it needs more number of images because the accuracy is not that coming to be good. So what I will do, I will augment. I will augment. So what is augmentation? Augmentation is something we are creating data from this data already, the data that is present. So we are doing some operations, mathematical operations, like we are rotating this image, we are flipping this image, we are adding some noise to this image, we are scaling this image. Scaling means like zooming. We are going to zoom this image on a particular part of that image. So we are creating a new image from these images. Okay, so this is what is known as augmentation, data augmentation. Okay, so for that we can use image data generator. So this is image data generator that we can use for image augmentation. So for training separately, for testing separately, and for validation, we are doing all three things separately. So first thing we'll write train data gen, train data gen equals to image data generator that we have actually imported from here. So I'm copying this image data generator, and we are doing certain operations like rescale. So rescale is actually we are converting the pixels. So there are two types of images. Okay, there are two types of images: floating point images and the integral, like integer, like those which are having values from 0 to 255, pixel values from 0 to 255, and pixel values from 0 to 1. Okay, so let us see what kind of image these are. Okay, so here uh, np dot import, you have to type import numpy as np, and then you have to type np dot unique values it will give you in this image. So you'll find it. This image is of which type? This 0 to 255 type. Okay, so this image is actually 0 to 255 type, this one. So while we are training the artificial neural network, so the values inside the neural network are in floating point, like these weights are in floating point values. Weights are in floating point values. So we have to convert this data set also in the floating point so that it will be able to learn better. Okay, although you can give from 0 to 255, but you should give it from 0 to 1. So we will convert this image by dividing each pixel with the highest value, that is 255. So suppose I am dividing 0 from by 255, that will be 0. 1 divided by 255, that will be less than 1, and all that. So when 255 is divided by 255, it will be 1. So the range becomes 0 to 1. Okay. So range becomes 0 to 1. So I'm going back. Yeah. So rescale 1 dot divided by 255. 1 dot because we have to, there is something that is known as automatic data type conversion. Okay. So when we will divide 1 divided by 255, it will be an integer. Okay. So 1 dot means we are converting it into a floating point value. So 1 dot divided by 255, and then horizontal flip equals to true. So I'm giving that yes, you can do horizontal flip. Horizontal flip is something uh, like this is image. So on this axis we are, so suppose this is x and this is y. So it will, when we'll flip this image, this will y and this will be x. So this is flipping. So this operation we are going to do. Okay. So horizontal flip, vertical flip, we have taken horizontal flip. Vertical flip will not like it will not make some like sense. So we'll add zoom range. So zoom range equals to 0.2. This is what we have done. So likewise, we will create test generator. So train generator, validation generator, and test generator. So validation data gen and test data gen. So it is my choice that I should not augment the data while testing, because it is not required, because training actually needs these things. So training and validation, we will do these two things, and we will not do uh, like this thing. Okay. Now I'm going to take the images. So this is a pipe. So you just think upon as a pipe. This is the pipe from which an image comes, and it is converted into something randomly from all these things, like horizontal flip. So some image X comes, it is horizontal flipped. Some image Y comes, like X dash comes, or X2, I'll name it X2. This is X1, it is Y1, X2, Y2. So Y2 is zoomed actually. So in this way, there is random operation that are applied to each of these images that are coming through these pipelines of image data generator. Okay. Now, how they are coming from pipeline? So what we will do is we'll create. So train generator equals to train data gen dot flow from directory, and then we have to give the directory for, oh sorry, for training. So I'm giving the training directory. So for train data gen, directory is this. Okay. And then I'm giving some value. Okay, I think you should not find it difficult to read. Okay, so first is the directory that I've given. Now target size. So target size is actually what? 150 cross 150 cross 3. Okay, so you need not specify 3 channels. You can do directly. Now batch size is how many images at a time you are taking it into training. So I'm taking it 8 images at a time. And class mode. So class mode is categorical. Categorical means if there is a two class problem. If there is a two class problem, okay, like if there is a two class problem, then this is a binary classification. Binary. There are two things, 0 or 1. Either it is this or this. Two class problem. It is binary. When the problem is not binary, more than two classes. So categorical is more than two classes. Two classes. Categorical is more than two classes. So how many classes are there here? There are 6 classes. So there are more than two classes. Rescaling we have done because the input is between 0 to 255, and we need to have input from 0 to 1. When you will read this image, as I have given you, like when you will read this image, the image is from 0 to 255. But when we are going to train the network, we need the image to be floating point, that is between 0 to 1 in a floating point value. So we have rescaled that image by dividing it with 255, so that that image will get converted in between 0 to 1 pixel values. So this is for train generator. Now we will create validation generator. So validation generator is validation data gen, data gen. This is validation generator. And let me clear all these drawings. So for validation, this path will get changed. So we can see for validation, it is well. So I am typing over here well. Path is same, but the folder is different. And then for training, sorry, testing. So this is validation. And then for testing, we have something test generator. Test generator equals to test data gen, test data gen. Here class mode is categorical, but the name is test. So when I will run this thing, it will show me how many images it has read. Okay, so target size. Oh, I've given wrong spelling. So target size is SIZE. SIZE. Yes. So it says that it has read 2398 images belonging to 6 classes for very first train data generator. For validation generator, it has read 298 images, and for test generator it has read 304 images belonging to 6 classes. Okay. Batch size we have taken it as 8. It depends on you that how much batch size you need. Like in our research problems, suppose the network is very big. Like I am having a network that has no, more than 100 layers. So sometimes this network cannot accommodate a good number of batch. Like it cannot accommodate batch size of 16 or 32 or like that. So what we do is we lower down the batch size so that it can be accommodated in the random access memory, that is RAM. So model is on the RAM, and in that RAM there are images. Okay, there are images according to this batch size. So at a time, how many images are coming to train the model is 16. If I have the batch size of 16. So how the batch is created? 16. This is 8. Okay. So I'll write 8, comma. What is the size of image? So 150, comma 150, comma 3. So there are 8 images. Each will have 150 cross 150 cross 3 dimensions. Okay. So this is the batch size. Okay. Now, since taken, we have read the data. Now we are going to compile the model. So first we have built the model. So let us examine what we have written till now. So what we have done, we have created a model. Then we have created the data generator and the flow from directly, like pipeline from them. And then we are going to compile the model. So let us compile our model. So from Keras dot optimizers. Optimizers are actually required to lower down the loss. Okay, so loss is what? A difference between the actual one and the predicted one. No. So this is Tamanna. Actually, 2398 images here. It has read in the folder. So the number of images that are inside that test folder, sorry, train folder is 2398 number of images. When the model is getting trained, it will be using this pipeline, and randomly it will be going to apply these augmentation operations, and then at the time of training, it will get, that model will get those augmented images. Right now it is only reading these images. Okay, so no augmentation over here. It is saying there are how many images? 2398 images in that folder. Now, so optimizer is equals to Adam because we have imported Adam. So we are going to specify what is the learning rate. So learning rate equals to 1 e to the power minus 3. So 0.0001. Okay. And then model dot compile. Now what model needs? So the name should be same. Like if it is model, this should be same. So model equals to model dot compile optimizer is equals to opt that I have defined over here, optimizer this. Then I need the loss. So loss function we are taking over here is as categorical cross entropy. It is not giving me categorical cross entropy. Now metrics. So metrics are something, some formula that are computed to check whether our model has been trained good or bad. Okay, so accuracy is one of the metrics. So accuracy, there are more metrics like AUC, area under the ROC curve. AUC, area under a receiver operating characteristic curve. So AUC ROC we say. Then precision. So precision is TP upon TP plus FN. So precision, true positive and all that. So true positive, false positive, true negative, false negative. Four things are there. So please read some ML books or some blogs. You'll be able to connect with these terms. So recall. And then I'm going to compile this. So there's some error like positional argument keyword. Okay, recall matrix equals to, yeah. Okay, so we have given this thing now. So no need to give you callbacks and all that. So I'm going to train this model. So I'll type history. History is what to save the trend of the model during um, like during training, what how the model was trained, like what is the graph of loss, what is the graph of AUC, what is the graph of accuracy. History is the dictionary actually that save all these metrics. Okay. Tamanna asked me what indicates the choice of the loss function. Indicates means actually choice of the loss function is as per our problem. Here, uh, here we have taken categorical cross entropy loss because we are having more than two classes. Okay, otherwise it would have been binary cross entropy loss. If we were having some thing not related to classification like segmentation problems, so we would have taken MSC loss, or we would have taken some dice loss, orthofocal to ASCII loss, focal loss, and all that. So there are ample loss functions, but for the for these classification problems, if there are more than two classes, categorical cross entropy loss function works very fine. I'll tell you that what is softmax, and then you'll be able to connect with categorical cross entropy. Okay, and for optimizer learning rate, we have kept it lower one like 0.0001. If learning rate is very small, so model uh, doesn't stucks into the local minima. So we have to save it from local minima, but we cannot make it like very small learning rate. Otherwise, our model will not be able to learn. Okay. So history equals to model dot fit. We are going to fit this model, what we have created, on this data set. So fitting the model on this data set. So model dot fit training data is from train data generator, I think. Train data generator. Okay, train generator. So train generator, epochs, how many times? So epochs we are taking 10 epochs. Batch size again, if you want to have, so batch size, so it will like override these values whatever you have specified earlier. So for this will override. So I'm taking batch size 8 again, so it will not override, or it will override with the same value. So validation data equals to validation generator and validation batch size. So validation batch size equals to, just take it like half, like 4. So there's no thumb rule for this, how much, how, what should be the batch size and what all. Let us do that. It is saying some error, epoch. So epoch, why it is not taking epochs? Actually it is epochs, yeah. So see, our model is getting trained. So see, you can see accuracy is increasing. AUC is not accuracy, it is area under ROC curve. So when you'll be in the research or some kind of thing, so you'll be able to understand what is this. So let's take a break and then we will come back. Uh, we'll continue with this and then we'll do something on regression analysis. Okay. So okay, you need code. I'll give you. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to stop my screen sharing right now, and then we'll meet again at 4. Sorry, at 5. Yeah. So let it get trained and then we'll see. Yeah. Okay, everyone, you may leave and then